February 21 in Kiev was the most fierce confrontation between security forces and members of Bromide, which is called the final stage of the Revolution of Dignity. The result was the escape of Viktor Yanukovych and part of his entourage. In the morning, protesters launched a peace offensive from the Maidan to the Verkhovna Rada, which turned into fierce clashes between Maidan security forces and so-called Tukimi. When the streets are near Mulberry, Lipsky, Castle Lane clashes, the security forces and Tatushki pushed the protesters away and subsequently captured the barricades in the street Grushevskogo, which protesters kept from Vigneris, 19 January. In the evening, security forces were able to oust the protesters from the government quarter into the Maidan, broke through the barricades on Institutska. The assault began, which the authorities called anti-terrorist operation. All night on February 19 the confrontation on the Maidan. However, the protesters in the morning reinforcements arrived from the regions and they were able to regain positions on the perimeter of Independence Square. After the assault, the leaders of the opposition once again went to negotiate to at the time still President, Viktor Yanukovych. And at the end of the meeting announced that the storming of the Maidan will be no more agreed to a truce. According to official data, in the night from 18 to 19 February, killed 17 Maidanovites, more than 200 were injured. Community activists Bromide claimed dozens missing, which relatives or friends have lost touch of 19 February, after clashes with security forces. Meanwhile, on the Maidan were able to extinguish the fire in House of Trade Unions. From the regions continued to arrive buses with new protesters, and the scene on the Maidan announced that the institute and many activists gunshot wounds. Euromaidan declared mobilization. On the same day in Kiev, delegation of the EU to establish negotiations and to stop the bloody confrontation. The whole day and following night, the foreign ministers of Germany, France and Poland talked with the opposition leaders and Viktor Yanukovych. On this day a significant part of security forces and equipment left the government quarter. At noon the president and the opposition leaders in the presence of the EU delegation signed the agreement to resolve the crisis, which included a return to the 2004 constitution, early presidential elections and the investigation into the violence on the Maidan. Speeches of politicians. The people met dissatisfied with the cries of speech. Vitaly Klitschko interrupted one of the centurions of the Maidan, Vladimir Parasyuk, who said that without the resignation of Yanukovych, activists will go to armed attack. Thousands gathered supported the statement. Right sector declared that will not lay down arms and willing to take responsibility for further developments. According to various estimates, from 18 to 20 February 2014 on the Maidan and Niram were killed from 78 to 83 activists. The youngest of them, Nazar Wojtowicz, was 17, the oldest, Ivan Nakonechny, -83.